After Trey Lance broke his ankle on Sunday, it appears the 49ers' decision in the offseason to give backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo a one-year contract rather than trade him for whatever they could have salvaged this season. Earlier this year, Jimmy Garoppolo appeared to be on his way out of San Francisco. He will now captain his team once more. Here is everything we know so far. To begin, let's look at an overview of Trey Lance's heartbreaking injury and the quarterback the 49ers just can't quit. Lance's injury was unknown when the team sent Garoppolo, dubbed the world's most expensive backup by some snarkier media members, out on the field against the Seattle Seahawks in the first quarter. Garoppolo had a solid but unremarkable day, scoring, passing, rushing, and throwing for 154 yards with no picks. The 49ers defeated the Seahawks 27-7, their first victory of the season and Seattle's first loss. In the long run, they will have to rely on Garoppolo, who has spent much of the offseason training on his own. According to head coach Kyle Shanahan, Lance's broken ankle demands season-ending surgery. The news was terrible for a 22-year-old with so much to offer fans. Garoppolo, who appeared to be spending his season on the bench for a team eager to move on from him, is now leading the team he led to the NFC Championship Game last season. What about the title most expensive backup? If Garoppolo stays healthy, he'll be a steal. Although his contract guaranteed him $6.5 million, the 49ers likely saved money by renegotiating his contract. While he could earn $12.65 million if he plays the entire season, that is a far cry from the $24.2 million he would have made under his former contract. Moving on, more specifics on the subject. It's not ideal for San Francisco, hoping to develop their first-round pick in 2021, but Garoppolo's presence keeps Lance's injured ankle from being a crushing blow. In a league where starting caliber quarterbacks are the most precious thing a team can have, keeping two on hand isn't always a bad idea. But this was hardly San Francisco's plan A. If another team were ready to splurge for Garoppolo this offseason, he would be the starting for that team right now. There are clubs he would have improved. He would have found a home in a league that does not implicitly support tanking. Nonetheless, rather than treating him as a surplus commodity, the team valued his skills and years of playing within their system over what was offered. So the 49ers chose to be conservative, faced some criticism, and are now apparently rewarded, albeit in the cruelest manner possible. What's the takeaway here? So, to paraphrase a sports cliche, sometimes the moves you don't make are the most important. Following that, Ravens' J.K. Dobbins' knee is set to make his debut against the Patriots. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, running back J.K. Dobbins is expected to play against the Patriots on Sunday, after missing all of 2021 with a ruptured ACL. Dobbins had been preparing for this day for 2 weeks, practicing every day. On 134 carries in his last healthy season, he carried for 805 yards and 9 touchdowns. Assuming no setbacks, the third-year runner should provide another offensive option for a Baltimore club eager to rebound from a stunning 42-38 loss to the Dolphins in Week 2. In that game, quarterback Lamar Jackson rushed for 119 yards, while the actual running backs contributed nothing. Justice Hill led Baltimore in rushing with 16 yards, while the 5 players that carried the ball besides Jackson totaled 36 yards. The Ravens had only 63 yards rushing in Week 1. 2 weeks into the season, they are ranked 19th in total rushing. Baltimore has been cautious with Dobbins during training camp and the early weeks of the 2022 season, but whatever workload he receives on Sunday and beyond finally provides the team with the explosive backfield option it has been lacking to relieve pressure off Jackson's legs. Jackson has already passed for 518 yards and 6 touchdowns this season, while also leading the Ravens in rushing. With Dobbins alongside him, the former MVP has a chance to become even more devastating. Next up, Titans LT Taylor Lewan, knee, will miss the rest of the 2022 season. The Tennessee Titans star left tackle is gone for the year for the second time in 3 seasons. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, Taylor Lewan will miss the rest of the 2022 season due to a right knee injury suffered in Monday night's loss to the Bills. The Bussin' with the Boys podcast on Barstool Sports initially reported the story. The Titans placed Lewan on injured reserve on Saturday. The veteran was wounded on the Titans' first offensive play on Monday night and was helped off the field before being carted off to the locker room. The right knee Lewan injured is the same one that ended his 2020 season prematurely due to a damaged ACL. Veteran tackle Dennis Daly, who filled in for Lewan following his injury, is expected to be the Titans' starting left tackle in the future. The Titans drafted Lewan in the first round in 2014, and he has since secured the blind side and given 3 consecutive Pro Bowl seasons from 2016 to 2018. The 31-year-old helped Derrick Henry become the league's leading rusher in back-to-back seasons in 2019 and 2020, including the running back's historic 2,000-yard season. Tennessee's loud leader and team captain Lewan's presence will be dearly missed as the club enters Week 3 looking for its first victory. Moving on, Niners TE George Kittle is slated to make his 2022 debut at the Broncos. George Kittle will make his primetime debut in 2022. Kittle, who missed the first 2 weeks of the season with a groin injury, does not have an injury designation for Sunday night's game against the Denver Broncos and is expected to play. Head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters there would be no limits for Kittle, who will return in time for Jimmy Garoppolo's 2022 debut. Kittle was doubtful for the first 2 weeks, but only practiced once. Kittle was a full go on Friday this week after being limited on Wednesday and Thursday. Kittle, a 3-time Pro Bowler with a great overall skill set and athletic approach, has missed multiple games in 4 consecutive seasons. Without him, San Francisco is 7-9. Kittle appeared in 14 games last season and was named to the Pro Bowl after recording 71 receptions, 910 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Following that, Saints QB Jameis Winston, back and ankle, and RB Alvin Kamara, ribs, are both questionable for the Panthers game. Jameis Winston and Alvin Kamara are 2 key Saints who could miss Week 3. Winston and Kamara are both questionable for Sunday's game against the Panthers in Charlotte. On the practice report, tackle Ryan Ramczyk, safety Marcus May, cornerback Paulson Adebo, and Swiss Army knife Taysom Hill, rib, were all classified as questionable. Alontae Taylor will not face Carolina. Winston and the Saints struggled to score in Week 2, losing 20-10 to division rival Tampa Bay. New Orleans played without Kamara, who was listed as questionable entering the weekend, after earning 46 yards on 12 touches in Week 1. Winston also entered the game last weekend with a questionable classification, but played. Adebo has yet to play a game in 2022 after injuring his ankle during the preseason. Meanwhile, Ramczyk, Hill, and May appeared in New Orleans' opening 2 games. The Saints are 1-1 entering Week 3 and should be optimistic about their chances against a Panthers team that has yet to put together 4 quarters of outstanding offensive play. A total of 5 scores decided Carolina's first 2 games, and Baker Mayfield threw for less than 85 yards in all of them. The New Orleans offense could use the boost Kamara would provide, but he is unlikely to be available now. The good news for the Saints is that all the players listed as questionable this week could participate in limited practice. Finally, Packers LT David Bakhtiari is likely to play at the Buccaneers. Elton Jenkins returned from injury to man the right tackle spot in the Packers' Week 2 victory over the Bears. A week later, they expect a similar return on the other side of the line. line. Left tackle David Bakhtiari is set to make his season debut against the Buccaneers on Sunday, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Bakhtiari's return to the field has been long and arduous. On December 31st, 2020, the two-time All-Pro tore his ACL in practice a month after signing a 4-year contract extension. He recovered for a year before returning in the 2021 regular season finale against the Detroit Lions. He took 27 snaps in that game, giving hope that he might be able to contribute to the top-seeded Packers playoff run, at least on a rotational basis. Still, he suffered an injury and did not participate in Green Bay's divisional round loss to the San Francisco 49ers. Bakhtiari will attempt a comeback for the second time, nearly 21 months after tearing his ACL. In the seasons preceding his extended layoff, Aaron Rodgers, blindside protector, was among the greatest in the NFL. His presence should enhance Green Bay's run-first attack based on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Sunday may also act as a vengeance game for Bakhtiari and company. The 2020 NFC Championship Game loss to the Buccaneers, who harassed Green Bay's undermanned offensive line for 5 sacks on their way to a victory at Lambeau Field, was one of the first games he missed since tearing his ACL. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you enjoyed it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.